The conference chamber aboard the Vengeance Protocol hummed with barely contained fury. Commander Akeem stood before the holographic display, her dark eyes reflecting the burning colonies below. Mir, her tactical officer, watched the numbers scroll across his screen. Casualty reports from the Galactic Empire's peacekeeping operation on New Karachi. 15,000 dead. 80% were children. They bombed the schools first, Mir said quietly, his jaw clenched. The hospitals second. They wanted maximum psychological impact. Akeem's fingers tightened around the edge of the console. For 300 years, humanity had played by the Empire's rules. They'd been the model species, diplomatic, cooperative, always seeking peaceful resolution. The galaxy knew humans as the mediators, the bridge builders, the species that somehow got the warring Krathos and Valem to sign a peace treaty over tea and biscuits. The Empire had mistaken kindness for weakness. Status of the fleet? Akeem asked. All ships reporting ready, Mir replied. The Mumbai's Wrath, Lahore's Retribution, Karachi's Vengeance, every vessel we pulled from the humanitarian corps. We've retrofitted them all. Weapons? Beyond their comprehension. Mir allowed himself a cold smile. Turns out 3 centuries of playing nice doesn't mean we forgot how to engineer warfare. It just means we got really, really good at it in secret. The Empire had never bothered to study human history. If they had, they would have learned about the world wars, about nuclear fire, about a species that had nearly destroyed itself a dozen times before reaching for the stars. They would have understood that humans had chosen peace, not defaulted to it. Choice can always be revoked. Communications incoming from Imperial Fleet Commander Xanthros, the AI announced. The hologram shimmered, revealing a reptilian face covered in ceremonial scales. Xanthros looked bored. Human vessel, you are ordered to stand down. The colony of New Karachi harbored terrorists. Our response was measured and appropriate. Measured, Akeem repeated, her voice like ice. You killed 15,000 civilians. 12,000 were children under the age of 10. Acceptable collateral damage in the pursuit of galactic security. Mir stood up, his hands braced against his console. You don't understand what you've done. Xanthros's eyes narrowed. Is that a threat, human? Your species has never shown aggression toward the Empire. You lack the stomach for real war. We lack the stomach? Akeem laughed, and it was a terrible sound. Commander Xanthros, we spent the last 300 years proving we could rise above our nature. We mediated conflicts. We built hospitals on plague worlds. We rescued your colonists from the Nebula crisis when your own fleet abandoned them. Your point? Xanthros hissed. My point is that we chose to be good. We worked every single day to be better than our worst instincts. Akeem's voice dropped to a whisper. You've just reminded us what those instincts are. Empty words from a frightened. The transmission cut off as Mir initiated the first strike. The Empire had shields, certainly. Energy barriers that could withstand conventional plasma weapons and particle beams. What they didn't have was protection against what humanity had developed in the shadows. Weapons that didn't destroy ships, but rather convinced their own systems to cannibalize themselves. Nanoscale infiltrators that turned hull plating into explosive compounds. Viruses that made AI cores experience something humans called existential dread. Humanity had spent centuries studying every species in the galaxy. Not for conquest, for connection. But that knowledge worked both ways. Xanthros's flagship, the Imperial Dominance, began tearing itself apart from the inside. Not quickly. Not mercifully. Slowly enough that every crew member would understand what was happening. Deploy the Whispers, Akeem commanded. Mir hesitated for only a heartbeat. The Whispers were psychological warfare at its finest. Broadcasts that exploited the specific neural patterns of each Empire species. Not to kill, but to ensure every soldier, every commander, every politician would hear the screams of those children for the rest of their lives. Humanity had learned empathy. Now the Empire would too, Commander, Mir said, watching 3 more Imperial vessels succumb to their own corrupted systems. The second wave is requesting permission to engage. Akeem studied the tactical display. 73 Imperial ships versus humanity's 12. The numbers meant nothing now. Permission granted. Rules of engagement leave their communications intact. I want the Emperor himself to hear what happens when you mistake our mercy for impotence. Over the next 6 hours, the Battle of New Karachi became legend. Not because of humanity's victory. That was inevitable once they'd unleashed technologies held in reserve for 3 centuries. No, it became legend because of what came after. When the Imperial ships lay disabled, Akeem broadcast on all frequencies. People of the Galactic Empire, this is Commander Akeem of the Terran Defense Force. For 300 years we have been your friends. We have healed your sick, mediated your disputes, and asked for nothing but peaceful coexistence in return. Today you learned what happens when you kill our children. She paused, letting the burning wrecks on every screen speak for themselves. But we are not like you. We will not slaughter your wounded. We will not bomb your hospitals. We are sending medical ships to retrieve your survivors. We will treat them, heal them, and send them home. Mir looked at her questioningly. She nodded. Because that is who we choose to be. But never mistake our choice for inability. We have shown you the monster we keep caged. Remember this day? Remember that we are kind because we choose to be, not because we must be. Akeem closed the channel and turned to Mir. Dispatch the hospital ships. Full treatment for all survivors, even after what they did, especially after what they did. We don't become them, Mir. We show them there's a better way, even in war. Mir nodded slowly, understanding blooming in his eyes. And if they don't learn? Akeem's expression hardened. Then next time we don't send warnings. The Galactic Empire never attacked a human colony again. ND.